Rabbi, as we hear all the news of the blood moons and then with the Shemitah, the teaching, can you wrap that up for us in a way that...
Or put it together?
Put it together in a way that we can understand.
Okay. Well, for the quick wrap up for those who don't know, the Shemitah is a over 3,000-year-old mystery, comes from Mount Sinai, that it links to the seventh year, the Sabbath year, that has been lying behind everything from Wall Street, when Wall Street crashes, when the economy rises, when America may fall, world history, prophecy, end times, everything. I mean, everything. It's God's pattern. We're getting close to, well, right now, as people are watching, we are in the beginning of a Shemitah year, the Shemitah of 2014 and 2015. Now, the blood moons, for those who don't know, is basically a pattern of eclipses that all happen on Hebrew holy days, 4 in a row. And that's rare. Happened around the time of Israel's birth, happened around 1967, and it's happening now, converging at the same time as all this. It's a 1.5 year period. But the first half year is already done. So what's left of the blood moon period is basically the Shemitah. It's going to come basically at the same time. So it kind of begins now, the Shemitah, with these eclipses, and then heads to the end is September 2015, which is when the Shemitah ends. It's exciting. To me, it's exciting. God is doing, mighty things. We are at a very critical time in world history. I mean, we're in prophetic times. Israel is back. Jerusalem's back. Jewish believers are back. It's kind of like when it's like there's a mystery that the age will conclude the way the age began. You had Israel in the world. You got Israel again at the beginning. When Jesus was there, you had that. You had Jewish believers. We're back. You had Jew and Gentile together. We're back. You had a church that loved Israel, hasn't been for a long time, it's back. And you had an anti-Christian culture persecuting believers. Well, that's coming. Yeah. But then you had the apostles who, didn't matter what the persecution was, that was the greatest time of God's outpouring of his Spirit. So you have the Spirit being outpoured, and you have all around the world, and you have the potential for us to be a great generation like they were back then. God wants us to be, as the book of Acts, to be willing to dare to believe as they did, to overcome as they did, to not let the world stop you. Say, no matter what, you put a prison cell, we're going to go through it. We're going to go through the walls. We're going to bust out. It's a time of breakthrough. So it's the dark gets darker, but the lights have to get brighter. That's the whole point. Hallelujah. As the bad's going from bad to worse, God wants us to go from good to great.
Hallelujah.